Alright, Canucks fans, buckle up because today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about stories in Vancouver hockey in recent years. And it's not just about the on-ice action, it's about the tension, the trade rumors, and the locker room drama that's been building between two of the Canucks' most important players, JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. How did we get here, and what's really going on between these two? Stick around because we're going through the full story from 2021 all the way into 2025. And trust me, you don't want to miss the latest twist. Let's go back to the 2021-2022 season, a pivotal year for the Canucks and for both Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. Vancouver was struggling under head coach Travis Green, and by midseason, the Canucks were in chaos. Green got the cut, and Bruce Boudreau came in to try to salvage the season. There was a lot of pressure, especially in the Canucks star players. For Petersson, it was a season of frustration. After an injury in the 2020-2021 campaign, everyone expected him to come back and dominate like he did in his rookie year. But things just weren't clicking for him. He was inconsistent, battling through injuries and trying to find his rhythm. Meanwhile, JT Miller was having the opposite experience. He was on fire, leading the team in points, playing hard and proving himself as one of the few reliable players on the team. But as the season wore on, something strange started happening. On paper, these two should have been the leaders of the Canucks, but their dynamic was off. Petersson was trying to find his game, and Miller was trying to carry the team. But that led to something bigger, a growing tension between them. You could see it in their body language, their play on the ice, and even in interviews. Fast forward to the middle of 2022, and the drama really starts to escalate. Pettersson was still struggling to get back to his best self, and Miller was becoming more vocal about the team's issues. It wasn't just the bad losses that were getting to the media. It was the little things like body language and subtle remarks in post-game interviews that were starting to add fuel to the fire. It all boiled over after a tough loss when Pettersson, visibly frustrated with his performance, gave a blunt post-game interview. He was honest, maybe too honest, and said he wasn't happy with his game and that he was trying to get back to the player he used to be. Fair enough, right? But then in a separate interview, Miller spoke about the team needing to be better overall, and some people began to read between the lines. Was Miller calling out Pettersson? Was there a deeper rift? And just like that, the rumors exploded. Fans and media started speculating about a split in the locker room. And then came the off-season where the real fireworks started. Pettersson was heading into the final year of his contract, and the pressure was on for him to bounce back. Meanwhile, JT Miller's name was all over the trade rumors. Would Vancouver trade him to rebuild? Was Pettersson going to be the cornerstone of the future? Could the Canucks afford to keep both players? But then in September 2022, Miller dropped a bombshell and he signed a 7-year, $56 million contract extension with Vancouver. It was a huge commitment to Miller, but it also put Pettersson in an uncomfortable position. Suddenly, Miller was the guy. He was locked in long-term, while Pettersson was still in limbo, dealing with the weight of expectations. As the 2023-2024 season unfolded, the Canucks weren't quite playoff bound, but there were moments of hope. Pettersson started to find his rhythm again, showing flashes of his old self. But the team's struggles continued, and once again, the whispers about the Pettersson-Miller dynamic were never far behind. Despite Pettersson's improvement, the locker room tension didn't just vanish. Miller continued to be vocal, and Pettersson, still not playing well, wasn't the undisputed leader fans had hoped for. The Canucks weren't moving forward as a cohesive unit, and everyone was asking, can these two really work together? The trade rumors never fully went away either. Would the Canucks trade Pettersson to finally build the team around Miller, or would they try to keep both stars and hope that time would heal the tension? Now we're in 2025, and the Canucks are still in the thick of their rebuild, but the drama between Miller and Pettersson is far from over. By now, it's not just about the team's on-ice performance. The situation is weighing heavily on the Canucks front office. Heading into the 2025 trade deadline, things get even more interesting. Petersson is still unsigned, and trade rumors are flying. This time, it's not Miller who's been talked about as much, it's Pettersson. Teams around the league are still interested, and the Canucks are faced with one of their biggest decisions in years. Do they trade Pettersson and look to build the future around Miller, or do they roll the dice and hope the two can finally figure it out despite everything? Pettersson's future in Vancouver is uncertain, and the pressure on the Canucks front office is massive. Can they resolve this issue, or will we see one of their stars moved by the deadline? One thing is for sure, this story isn't over, and the drama between Miller and Pettersson will continue to keep us all on the edge of our seats. And that's all we've got for today. What do you think? Can Miller and Pettersson finally make it work, or is a trade on the horizon? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the Canucks, NHL news, and everything going on in the world of hockey. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.